Well, the numbers are finally in. I've been eagerly awaiting this, like I'm sure many of you have. How will Aquaman 2 perform at the box office? It's finally out. Thursday was its big day. How did it do? Well, worse than the Marvels. $4.5 million for its Thursday box office. Very, very bad. Let's take a look at what they have to say. Warner's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom posted $4.5 million last night at 3,400 locations, while Universal's Migration did $1.5 in what is expected to be a slow weekend at the 4-day box office for Christmas. That's largely due to the fact that there isn't a massive want-to-see movie in the marketplace. Aquaman 2 weighted down by awful reviews at 36% on Rotten Tomatoes, an overlook of $40 million plus or minus over the 4 days. I saw some people saying that it might make $26 to $29 million. Some people are putting out that it might only make $29 million over the Christmas holiday, which is very, very sad. Very, very sad. They can do some comparisons here so you can see what they're expecting. And now that we have some numbers, we can do an accurate trajectory. Already the sequel's previews are less than that of Disney Marvel. The Marvels, which did $6.6 million before a 3-day of $46.1 million, the lowest start ever for a Marvel movie. That said, Aquaman 2's previews are higher than that of DC's earlier bomb, Shazam. And, by comparison, the DC's The Flash, which was plagued with bad headlines about its star Ezra Miller and a cast that didn't publicize the film massively, looks like a massive hit with 9.7 million previews, a 24.1 million Friday, and a 55 million 3-day. Wonka is going to outperform this movie with its second weekend. And, well, it might. There's a chance that it might. Wonka's actually doing really good. I thought that movie was going to die the way it was looking, but you know what's saving that movie, it looks like? Word of mouth. Word of mouth is now the biggest thing for a movie because people just can't trust Hollywood anymore. This is Hollywood's problem of its own making. A word of mouth is everything now. I think it's probably one of the most important factors for a movie because a movie now depends on legs. Like it takes a while for a movie to make money now. Not Aquaman, but Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is a perfect example of that. People don't trust Marvel, but they did like those previous movies, and they got confirmed. It got confirmed by other people that they knew that it was a good movie, so they went and watched it. Aquaman 2 will not have that benefit. A lot of people are talking about why this movie is failing, and I think there's a lot of contributing factors to that. One, the biggest, Amber Heard. Amber Heard is not very well liked. I won't get too deep into it, but, I mean, you've all been there. You all saw the trial. She represents a turning point in our culture now, kind of a hit on a lot of the believe everything, and a lot of people just don't like her. Don't like her. This movie should have dumped her before it even started filming. But they chose to move ahead, despite the fact that there's a petition out there with almost 5 million people. I think 4,500,000 something, 4,500,000 something people signed that petition saying we don't want her. We don't need her. Take her out of the movie. They didn't listen. They said, that's all bots. Now they're paying for it. She is a significant reason why this movie is failing. And James Gunn, he didn't help. Running around saying that these movies don't matter. That hurt them too. They're paying for it now. Check out the Rotten Tomatoes, by the way. This is what's funny. So 36% all critics, 26% top critics. They're doing their little thing again. Verified audience is 77%. Okay? They're doing that bullshit again. But when you click on all audience, it's 65%. This movie's a turd. This movie is a giant turd. And the only people that are praising it are, of course, the stans for AH, calling her mother. It's now a win, apparently. It is a win that this movie is doing terribly. This is from Master of the TDS over on Twitter. The review embargo for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has finally lifted, and unfortunately for Warner and DC, it is not tracking well both financially and critically. While many blame the impending reboot of the DCU for the film's failure, some have taken it upon themselves to explain why the film flopped. That's right. The AH stands are back to tell us all that the movie would have done better if they didn't cut her out of it. That Amber is the reason that Aquaman was successful, and celebrating the failure as a win, and they're celebrating the failure as a win for Amber Heard. Some really entertaining cope in this one. Enjoy. So apparently she is the reason that the first one was successful, which is bullshit. What made the first one successful was the women that flocked to see the movie because they like Jason Momoa and they wanted to see him with his shirt off. They also liked the mother-son dynamic of the movie. That was a thing. That mother and son dynamic, like women really liked that movie for those reasons. And it made $1 billion because it had a mother-son-father relationship, and Jason Momoa ran around with big muscles and his shirt off. Women, there was a campaign push to get women in the theater for that, and it worked. It worked. Funny that they don't show up for the Marvels, though. Deserved justice for Mira. Shouldn't have significantly cut my girl. I'm tricked. Lol. No Mira, no money. No Mira, no money. Aquaman's performance at the box office has literally nothing to do with AH and everything to do with the state of DC and WB. Your petition did nothing. Did nothing, huh? There's 4,500,000 something people that signed it. Pretty sure that's a significant portion of people that would have seen this movie and boosted it up. Absolutely, it had something to do with it. The petition didn't work because they ignored it. But it did provide a nice little bit of evidence that people don't want to see her. Probably the most... I mean, her face is like, if they were going to put a face next to liar in the dictionary, you might as well put her face there. But this is some record levels of cope. Like, literally, the way I remember watching Aquaman in high school with my aunt, who was a crazy Depp fan, she was just being bitter and mean to Amber the whole movie, and I was falling in love with Mira. Hashtag only for Mira. Maybe if they respected Amber and Mira, this wouldn't have happened. So, a lot of cope here. Basically, if they just given her a bigger role in the movie, would have done a lot better. Would have been a massive hit. Would have made $1 billion. This is some cope. So they're now trying to spin this as a win for Heard. It's a win, ladies and gentlemen. That the reason that it's not doing well is because she was cut. Oh, man. Anyway, this will be fun to follow for the weekend. I am really curious to what the final numbers are for this in a few days, and I think it's going to be probably the lowest of the year. I think it's going to take that title belt away from the Marvels for sure. Anyway, that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What are your thoughts on all this? I'd like to hear it. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.